It was the most heinous crime spree the nation had seen since the Manson family killings. And when the mastermind behind it all was revealed, America was shocked. Summer has just begun, and a heat wave is bearing down on the metropolis. People are ready for some fun in the sun after the harsh winter months. For a couple of weeks, there's been a string of shootings across the city. The 23-year-old Deborah Ann was out with her boyfriend and 3 friends when they were approached by a stranger. He said he'd meet them back at the car soon. He never came back. When Deborah realized the man wasn't coming back, she asked where he went. Her boyfriend, Ed DiOrio, said, "Who cares? He's just a stranger." They tracked him down, and he fit the bill perfectly. Many were fascinated by the fact that a former law enforcement officer could turn into a remorseless killer. The evidence against him was overwhelming, and he was found guilty on all counts. He was sentenced to 6 consecutive jail terms of 25 years each, and 2 concurrent sentences of 25 years to life. To make matters worse, he was also given 5 consecutive 5 to 15-year sentences for other crimes he had committed. He's been denied parole 8 times and remains one of the state's most notorious criminals. However, he's no longer a charming young man who fooled everyone. He's now a bitter old man who blames everyone but himself for his situation. Time has not been kind to him. So basically, this guy was going to rot in prison. What do you think? Do you think Berkowitz got off easy? Share your thoughts below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. See you next time. The media picked up on this angle, and Berkowitz became the talk of the town. But few understood the real monster hiding under the surface. He was a former police officer who had left the force due to a shoulder injury. But that was not the only similarity. He was also a charming, well-spoken individual who had served in Vietnam, exactly as the killer had described himself. However, he claimed that his dog helped him kill 7 more victims. Of course, this was pure insanity. He was trying to avoid the death penalty. But even this admission failed to shock the public. They were eager to hear anything about the case, and this just gave them more material. The jig was up. David Berkowitz was a serial killer. Little did he know he was talking to a murderer. While Deborah's friends headed back to the car, she decided to stay a little longer. She wanted to see if the strange man would come back. What she didn't realize was that he was getting ready to strike again. Oh, this guy's polite, and he strikes up a conversation with the group. He was abandoned by his biological father and raised by his mother and stepfather. Maybe this had something to do with his deranged behavior. In court, he explained his crimes by saying, "I was filled with rage and hatred, and I wanted to do something terrible." His own explanation didn't make much sense, but it may have been the best he could come up with at the time. He talks to them for a bit, then asks if he can join them. They say sure, and the party of 5 continues their night out. The man they led in their circle was none other than the serial killer himself. He joked about being a former Marine and seemed nice enough. For now, he would be joining these new acquaintances for the rest of the evening. At first, the police don't think much of it. They assume these incidents are unrelated and their work is cut out. They have no idea how right they are. And when he pounced, she was completely unaware. He fired 3 rounds at her, killing her instantly. Deborah, who had been walking toward her friends, witnessed the entire scene. She immediately screamed for help. Ink! The killer dropped to his knees and begged her, "Don't shoot me, don't shoot me." Even though he was only pretending, she still felt threatened and stayed put. Soon enough, the police arrived, but it was too late. They were dealing with a madman who had struck again. This was the tale of the charming yet calculating David Berkowitz. Just when they thought perhaps the killer was done, he struck again. In a chilling echo of previous attacks, on September, he left behind his calling card once more. But this time, he had made a mistake. In his haste to flee, he left behind a piece of paper jammed in the victim's blouse. It contained a scribbled message that read, "I am the 666th killer, David Berkowitz." Police were quick to dismiss it as a prank, but they soon learned it was no joke. But unlike the recent series of events, this terrifying narrative didn't play out on the screen. It happened in real life. So what really happened? Welcome to my channel. And today, let us find out what happened to the charming son of a cop who went on a deadly rampage across New York City. The year is 1976, and the city is New York, in Sandmore Park in the West Bronx. 2 young women are enjoying some time away from the oppressive heat Their day begins like any other summer day, just hanging out, laughing, and looking for a good time. Then the unthinkable happens. A man they don't know emerges from behind a tree and fires 3 shots at them. Both women fall to the ground, injured. The gunman runs off before anyone knows what's happening. One of the women, 20-year-old Donna Larea, is dead. Her friend, 18-year-old Joanne Polo, survives, though she's badly hurt. But this would not be the last encounter with the culprit. Over the next few weeks, there's a copycat series of attacks that leaves people terrified. On July, in the same area, 2 more women are shot. Again, the perpetrator is lurking in the shadows, and he does not give those women a chance to defend themselves. One of them, 23-year-old Helen Cho, dies, while the other, Stacy Wise, survives. The media quickly picks up on this story, and fear starts spreading like wildfire. Residents are petrified to leave their homes, and a sense of dread settles in the city. As August rolls around, the tension reaches its peak. When they reached a certain spot, the killer excused himself to use the bathroom. Not far away, a woman named Virginia Voskerikian was taking a late-night stroll. The 25-year-old hadn't noticed the madman stalking her. Ed and Deborah waited a whole week for news on the latest victim, but none came. After interviewing witnesses, they learned that everyone had seen a man matching the description of a former cop named David Berkowitz. As Berkowitz's trial approached, the public grew increasingly interested in the case. Berkowitz was charged with 8 counts of murder and 4 counts of attempted murder. But Berkowitz wasn't done making headlines. During his trial, he confessed to killing a total of 13 women. So why did he do it? Like many serial killers, Berkowitz had an unusually troubled childhood. Today, Berkowitz is still locked up in New York State's Shangunk Correctional Facility. And it seems that karma finally caught up to this monster.